No one noticed him at first. That was the hardest part. Every morning, just after sunrise, Daniel Harper sat on the same cold wooden bench at Riverside Park in Chicago, his worn jacket pulled tight, his breath faint in the early air. Joggers passed. Dog walkers smiled at their pets, not at him. City buses hissed as they stopped and moved again, carrying lives full of purpose somewhere else. Daniel was a single dad, a U.S. Army veteran, and lately, a man running out of quiet places to hide his pain. His 6-year-old daughter Emily was still asleep back at the small shelter near West Madison Street. Daniel made sure she ate first, always. Whatever remained, if anything remained, was his. Most days there wasn't much. Some days nothing at all. He had once worn a uniform that people saluted. He had once driven through deserts under a burning sun, listening to helicopters cut the sky above him. Now he listened to city pigeons and distant traffic, wondering how life had folded in on itself so quietly. That morning, Daniel clutched a paper bag. Inside was a single sandwich he had bought the night before with the last few dollars from a temporary labor job. It was meant for lunch, meant to give him strength to search for work after dropping Emily at school. Then he saw the old man. The man stood near the park fountain, leaning heavily on a cane. His clothes were clean but thin, his hands trembling as he tried to open a small cup of soup. The lid slipped, fell to the ground, and the soup spilled across the pavement. The old man froze. He stared at the mess like something inside him had cracked. Daniel looked down at his bag, then back at the man. His stomach tightened, not just with hunger but with memory. He remembered fellow soldiers sharing rations in silence. He remembered how dignity could be preserved by the smallest gestures. Daniel stood up. He walked over slowly, his boots scuffing the ground. Without a word, he knelt, helped pick up the fallen cup, then gently held out his paper bag. "Please," Daniel said quietly, "take it." The old man's eyes filled instantly. "Son, I couldn't." Daniel smiled, small and tired. "You can, I insist." The man accepted the sandwich with shaking hands. They sat together on the edge of the fountain, the city flowing around them. A bus passed by, its windows reflecting morning light. Somewhere above, a helicopter hummed toward the hospital downtown. Neither man knew that someone was watching. Across the park, a young woman named Rachel Moore had paused mid-walk. She worked in digital media, but today she was just another Chicagoan heading to work. What she saw made her stop. She saw a man who clearly had very little, giving away the last thing he had. Rachel didn't interrupt. She didn't stage anything. She simply recorded a short clip on her phone, the way Daniel leaned in respectfully, the way the old man bowed his head before taking a bite, the way the city kept moving unaware. Daniel finished sitting, wished the man well, and walked away toward the bus stop. He never saw Rachel. He never imagined that one small act would travel further than he ever had. That night Daniel returned to the shelter, held Emily close, and whispered stories about better days. Hunger sat quietly beside him, but pride sat there too. Outside, the city lights glowed. And somewhere online, the world was about to meet him. By morning, the world had changed, though Daniel didn't know it yet. Rachel uploaded the short video with a simple caption. "He gave away his last meal. Kindness still lives." She expected a few likes, maybe a few comments. Instead, the video exploded. Thousands, then millions. People shared it across platforms. Comments poured in from veterans, single parents, teachers, truck drivers, nurses. Strangers wrote, "This broke me." Others wrote, "This man represents what we've lost and need to find again." Someone zoomed in on Daniel's jacket and noticed a faded service patch. By noon, news outlets were calling Rachel. By afternoon, Daniel's name was being searched worldwide. Meanwhile, Daniel was standing in line at a community center, filling out another job application. His phone, an old model with a cracked screen, buzzed endlessly. He ignored it at first, assuming it was a glitch. Finally, he answered. "Is this Daniel Harper?" a woman asked. "Yes. My name is Linda. I'm with a local veterans support organization. Sir, are you aware you're going viral?" Silence. Daniel sat down slowly. Within hours, everything moved faster than he could process. Reporters gathered near Riverside Park. A local station requested an interview. A bus drove past with his image already playing on a digital ad screen. Kindness still lives. Daniel didn't feel like a hero. He felt overwhelmed. What mattered to him was Emily. When donations started pouring in, Daniel asked one question again and again. Is this real? Strangers paid off his overdue shelter fees. A retired mechanic from Ohio offered to fix his old car for free. A schoolteacher mailed Emily a backpack filled with books and crayons. One evening, Daniel and Emily walked through the park again. The trees glowed green under city lights. A police helicopter hovered briefly overhead before moving on, its spotlight sweeping the river like a guardian eye. Emily looked up at him. "Daddy, are we famous?" Daniel knelt beside her. "No, sweetheart, people are just being kind." The hardest moment came days later, when Daniel met the old man again, the one from the fountain. His name was Walter Jenkins, a retired bus driver, a widower. They hugged quietly as cameras stayed at a distance. "I didn't think anyone would care," Walter whispered. Daniel answered, his voice breaking, "I did." With help from the community, Daniel secured a small apartment near a village-style neighborhood outside the city, tree-lined streets, kids riding bikes, the sound of motorbikes passing in the evenings. He landed a steady job with a transit maintenance company. The same buses that once rushed past him now felt like symbols of movement, of forward motion. But Daniel never forgot the bench. He still visited Riverside Park, sometimes alone, sometimes with Emily. He sat, watched people pass, and remembered how invisible a person could feel, and how powerful one small choice could be. Fame didn't change Daniel Harper. Gratitude did. Months later, Daniel stood once more in Riverside Park, not as a viral figure but as a man grounded in humility. The leaves moved gently. The city breathed. Life went on just as it always had. Daniel had learned something important. Kindness doesn't need an audience, but when it's seen, it can awaken millions. He began volunteering quietly. No cameras, no announcements. He helped other single parents fill out forms. He shared meals. He listened. Listening, he realized, was another form of kindness the world desperately needed. Emily started school nearby. Every morning they walked together past parked cars, city buses starting their routes, neighbors waving hello. Stability, once a distant dream, now felt real. Yet Daniel often thought about how close he had been to disappearing into the background forever. Not because he lacked value, but because the world was busy. And that is where you, dear viewers, come in. Dear viewers, this story is not just about Daniel. It is about moments you and I face every single day. Moments where we choose to look away or lean in. Moments where we decide whether someone remains invisible or feels seen. A small act of kindness does not require wealth. It requires awareness. It requires heart. If this story moved you, please take a moment to comment below. Share your thoughts. Share a moment when kindness changed your life or when you wish you had chosen it. Please like this video so more people can be reminded that compassion still exists. Please share it with your friends, your family, anyone who might need hope today. And most importantly, subscribe to our channel, Kindness Quest. This channel exists to tell stories that matter, stories that heal, stories that remind us who we are meant to be. Your support helps these stories reach those who feel forgotten, just like Daniel once did. Somewhere right now, in a park, on a bus, in a quiet corner of a city or village, someone is waiting for a moment of kindness. You could be that moment. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. And thank you for being part of the kindness quest.